I apologize for being very nasally in this video. I'm going through some stuff, so that's going to be very fun. Into the Light is on the horizon. In fact, it's in 2 days, and I've procrastinated on this video for like 2 weeks straight. So let's go over the things that you need to know going into the light. This is just the need to know basics, nothing more than that. So, as far as activities are concerned, we have a new one called Onslaught. It is a wave-based defense game mode where you defend an objective from waves of enemies. A new currency called Scrap is being added, which we'll be able to buy and upgrade deployable defenses. Things like trip mines, turrets, decoys, all that kind of stuff. Batteries will be dropped by enemies that we'll be able to use to regain some of the objective's health. If that objective dies, you are booted to orbit, no questions asked, you have failed. Normal mode will start with 30 waves and Legend will have 50. The way that bosses work is a lot different than what we've come to expect in Destiny. There will be no immunity shields. There will instead be augments. Things like dunk a spark in a thing, capture an objective, break a shield, eliminate enemies like envoys. Stuff like that will dramatically increase your damage towards the boss instead of breaking an immunity shield. So it'll actually be a lot more fun to fight these bosses than they normally would be. Thank you, Bungie. Waves are not all going to be RNG. There are some waves that are unique, keyword being some. For example, in the first live stream, they showed us a full Ogre and Cursed Thrall wave, which looked like a lot of fun. They said there's going to be a lot more of those types of waves spread between the stuff that we are doing already, so that'll be fun. Look out for those. Loot. Loot will be gained throughout the activity by gaining XP that we'll talk about later, and just random drops in between waves. However, buckling down and strapping in for all of the waves, fully completing the activity will award you with a lot more loot and a chance at limited edition variants, which I will get to in a minute. Fuck, my nose is so clogged. Ugh, it sucks. There will also be some bonus objectives that you will have in between waves or during waves that will give you more XP and more loot, so keep an eye out for those. Now that we're done with Onslaught, let's talk about the reworked and reintroduced exotic missions. Whisper of the Worm and Outbreak Perfected are coming back, both craftable and with reworked missions. They will have a brand new boss encounter, each of them. Exotic is now craftable with slotted perks and potentially more catalysts, and those exotic ships are going to be completely different than the ones that we have now. So those OGs that have those older ships, those will stay unique. The new ships will be different, but will be unique in their own right. So that's cool. Now that we're done talking about activities, let's talk about the thing everyone else cares about, the loot. So the weapons will be cycled on a week-by-week rotation. I have no idea if they plan to combine the loot pools after the rotations are finished. I hope they do, but we don't know yet. So as far as we know, they are on a week-by-week basis. They can be acquired by playing Onslaught through just getting lucky, or you can do quests. These quests will be given to you by our site, which someone will talk about in a minute, but that's how you will have a more curated way of getting those weapons. Now, limited edition variants will exist, and they are just straight up better than the other variants. However, they will only be acquirable in the release window of Into the Light. So once the final shape comes out, those limited edition variants will also be leaving. I sure do love some FOMO content, let's go. But those limited edition variants will be acquirable during the release window of Into the Light, and they will also have a higher drop rate the higher difficulty that you play. So if you're playing on the Legend modifier of Onslaught, you will have a higher chance of getting those weapons when you complete the activity. Now that we've talked about the weapons and the activities, let's talk about the social space. The new social space is just a little area in the tower. It's nothing special. No, it's not the D1 tower. I'm sorry, it's not. It just isn't. The brand new social space will have 2 new NPCs. Well, 1 new NPC. We will have Shaxx, and then we will have our site. Shaxx is responsible for your general vendor stuff, your engrams, whatever. When you gain XP in Onslaught, it will go towards him and his brave arsenal. Our site is the guy you want to be looking out for. He will be the one selling you the quests to get those specific weapons, and just in general having those exotic weapon missions available for you. Other than those two, you can select a Shaxx hologram holding the weapon that you prefer to get from those activities, and it will hone in on that weapon. So for example, if you want a blast furnace, click on the Shaxx hologram holding a blast furnace, and you'll have a higher chance of getting one. There you go, pretty easy. There will be new armor sets coming in with this Brave Arsenal, and they look pretty damn good, so look forward to that. We are also going to have apparently a raid boss gauntlet, I think, which is something that they hinted at. We don't know what it's going to be until it drops, so I'm curious as to what the hell that's going to be, but I'm sure it will be fun. And that wraps it up for about everything you need to know going on Into the Light. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that I missed that you'll probably get mad at me for in the comments, but as far as the base stuff that you need to know, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy Into the Light when it releases. I know I will be, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.